morning to all of you. Welcome to this YouTube channel initiated by Gnanmanjari Modern School. Student, this is GE period and we are going to start unit number 7, that is conditional 2. Conditional 0 and conditional 1 we have discussed, and now it's time to go for another unit, that is conditional number 2. There are 3 types, actually there are 4 types of conditional, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But 0 number conditional is not given in your that syllabus, but though we have discussed that. So it's conditional 2. Now today's topic, so the uses means how to use this conditional 2 that we discuss in this video. You have heard anything about that imaginary sentences? Yes. So especially in this type of conditional 2, imaginary sentences are used. Imaginary sentences means the sentences which are not real, which is not possible in real life. So those sentences are always there in our imaginations, and those are just very far from the reality of the life. So those kind of fantasy situation, those kind of imaginary sentences are used in this conditional 2. Of course with if, because without if we can't make conditional sentences. So it is also known as that probable with that we have discussed. So in this kind of situation, means this imaginary situation, we just use such a situation which is not real. So if you are asked that second conditional is used for blank types of sentences, so those are called imaginary sentences. So first I'll give you the definition and the situation in which we can use this kind of situation. After that we'll go slowly by the sentence pattern, after that sentences and all. Okay, so you all have to write the information, the definition, and whatever I'll give you in this video through this board, you have to write those things in your notebook. So the use of this condition is, well student, those first conditional is known as probable conditional, and this conditional is known as improbable conditional. And why improbable, I will tell you. It is known as improbable conditional because here we don't have a real kind of situation. In this we have imaginary situation, in this we have fact kind of situation. That's why this is known as improbable condition, because any situation, any possible situation is not there in this second conditional, and that's why it is known as improbable condition. So the use of this condition is, in English, we can talk about unreal and imagined situations. And their consequences. Or you can say their results by using the second conditional. See students, the two keywords we have is unreal and imagined situation. So this kind of situation are used in this second conditional, and not only situation but their consequences and results too. So you can say that if part is the conditional sentences and that second main part is the situation or describing results and consequences. I will give you one example and you will know that what exactly this second conditional is. Wait. See. Here we have this one sentence. I have one question for you all. What would things be like if animals ruled the world? Just imagine that instead of people, instead of human being, animals ruled the world. Means, can you imagine the situation? How it would be if animals rule this whole world? This is not possible. This is just improbable, or we can say this is just impossible. So this kind of imaginary sentences, this kind of fantasy world sentences, or this kind of impossible sentences are used in this second conditional. Please note down this definition with this example. This will really help you all. Please note down. The unreal situations are described or things we don't think will possible, and to talk about the possible results of this situation. See students, Possible, okay. The unreal situations are described, or things we don't think will possible or happen. And to talk about the possible result of the situation is described using second conditional. Now going for the sentence pattern of this. And the sentence pattern is if plus subject plus simple past plus object plus OW means other words. This we have talked about if part. What about main part? So in main part we have subject plus would plus V1 object OW. So this is called main part. So let me write here that if part and this one is main part, or you can say would part. Okay, so here is one more definition with sentence pattern. Remember students, only simple past is used with if and. Only word is used, that I will describe. But here you have to use would. And as we are using would, here V1 is must. You can say it infinitive too. Please you note down this. After that I will give you sentences. Note down this students. Now I will write sentences using this sentence pattern. See. If I lived in Japan, I would eat sushi. Sushi is a name of Japanese dish. See, so now we will compare this with this sentence pattern. We have if, we have our subject I, we have simple past lived and our other words. In would part we have subject I, we have would eat sushi. So these kind of sentences are used. See, now if part tells us about, so I am talking about this part. This if part tells us about the unreal and unlikely situation. See, this person is not in Japan, but he is imagining that if he was in Japan. So this part tells us about this. Now second main part. And would part part tells us about the possible result of the situation. So this is the example of second conditional with the explanation of it. If part tells us about the unreal and unlikely situation, that is this. Would part tells us about the possible result of that situation. Which situation? Of this if situation. Okay students, you note down this. After that I will give you more example. Please note down. There is one rule two parts can come in order when the if part comes first in order in the sentence we put comma between the if part and main part. So this is the rule students. If you use if part first, then comma should be there between those two. But what will happen when we don't have if part first? But if you don't use if part first, no need to put comma between if part and would part. So this is very important note. So this you have to keep in your mind. Two parts can come in order. Means there is no any rule that you can use if part first and would part second. No. Two parts can come in order when the if part comes first. In order in the sentences we put comma between the if part and main part. But if you don't use if part first, no need to put comma between if part and would part. Please note down this students. See, I will give you the example. If I had a lot of money, I would buy a lot of gold. Just check these two sentences, students. See, I have written the same sentences here, only one change is there. If I had a lot of money, so we have here if sentences first. That's why I have put comma here. I would buy a lot of gold. I would buy a lot of gold if I had a lot of money. Here we have if part secondly. So we didn't put this comma here. So when you have if part first, at that time only use comma in that. Okay, meaning will not change, meaning will be same. The meaning of these two sentences are same. There is no change in meaning. Just put comma between two sentences when you have if part first. Remember this and note down this. Now some more sentences. Students, here I have written these three sentences. Just check it once. See, if I were a bird, I would fly all over the world. If I were a Prime Minister of India, I would remove poverty from the nation. If I were a tiger, I would not kill any animals. The little difference we have in this sentences is here I have used this word with I. Generally we use was with I, means I was a teacher, I was in the school, I was in the farm, but here I used word with this. Why we used word with I here? Because this is imaginary sentences. No one is going to be a bird here. No one is going to be a prime minister here. No one is going to be a tiger here. Means, can you imagine any person can be a tiger? Can any person be a bird? Can you be a prime minister at this age? No. So these are totally imaginary sentences, and in imaginary sentences we use word to show present things even. We use word with I. You note down these three sentences. After that I'll give you the explanation of this. Please note down. In such imaginary sentences, we use word instead of was. Okay, you can use word instead of was. See, if she were if she were a cat, she would not kill a rat, or you can say mouse. And if I were the principal of the school, I would not take any exam. So this kind of imaginary situation you can use word with any subject. Please note down these, students. Okay student, this is for today's video. Now it's time to give you homework, and your today's homework is you have to write 5 sentences of second conditional. Means now you have sentence pattern, now you have examples, now you have all the explanations. So use this second conditional in your own sentences, and please use imaginary sentences or weird kind of sentences. We will meet again with new examples, with new imagination in next video. Till then, bye. Thank you.